स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। यथाग्नेर्दाहिका शक्ति रामकृष्णे स्थिता या सर्वविद्यास्वरूपां तां शारदां प्रणमाम्यहम्। देवीं प्रसन्नां प्रणार्तिहन्त्रीं योगेन्द्रपूज्यां युगधर्मपात्रीं तां शारदां भक्तिविज्ञानदात्रीं दयास्वरूपां प्रणमामि नित्यम्। Let us offer our salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all religions, the Supreme God Incarnate. Let us offer our salutations to Sri Sharda Devi, the divine consort of Sri Ramakrishna, who is called Holy Mother. She resides as the Shakti or the cosmic power in Sri Ramakrishna, even as the burning power dwells in fire. Sri Sharda is the embodiment of all knowledge. She is Goddess Saraswati, Goddess Lakshmi, Goddess Parvati, born in this world in human form to set a great ideal of love. It is very important. She destroys all our miseries. Let us offer our humble salutations to her and pray to her to give love and wisdom. Today I am speaking on the subject, the Holy Mother, the ideal of love. We are celebrating Mother's birthday on 14th December with special worship, prayers, that day evening after usual arati to Sri Ramakrishna. So it is very relevant to dwell upon her most wonderful life of love. Simple living, high thinking. That is Holy Mother. She is human and divine. Who can really recognize her greatness? There is only one who really understood the greatness of Holy Mother. That was none other than Sri Ramakrishna himself. Holy Mother, personification of love. There is no question of great or small, saint or sinner. She would love everybody. She would love in the same way. She would treat everyone. Yet her eternal spring of love remained unexhausted as before. Sister Nivedita wrote to the Holy Mother from Cambridge in America. In that letter she mentions, she tells, this morning early I went to the church. All the people there were thinking of Mary, the mother of Jesus. And suddenly I thought of you. Your dear face and your loving look and your white saree and your bracelets. It was all there. Dear Mother, you are full of love. And it is not a flushed and violent love like ours and like the world's, but a gentle peace that brings good to everyone and wishes ill to none. It is a golden radiance full of play. So, Holy Mother is unique in her wonderful manifestation of love, purest form of love. If we have to understand the purity of love, study Holy Mother. This combination of gentleness, dignity, purity, and selfless love gave the Holy Mother that supreme grace. So, Holy Mother was very much concerned about the welfare of all the people. Her love for her children, which is the sweetest of all human relationships, is all embracing. What is the uniqueness in her love? There is no display of partisanship, no preference, there is no hierarchy. Holy Mother was a mother to all who came to her. May it be a man, a woman, or a child. Whoever it is, This motherly affection of Holy Mother was limitless. A certain woman used to come to Dakshineshwar for some time. Because of her wonderful character of simplicity and gentleness, whoever comes to her would be attracted by the divine force of love. So this lady was also fascinated by Holy Mother. So she used to come as many days as possible, and she used to help her in her sundry works. One day, Holy Mother was carrying food to Sri Ramakrishna's room. Just at that time, this lady came and she was requesting her that today she would carry the food to Sri Ramakrishna. Holy Mother, carrying the food to Sri Ramakrishna every day from her place to Sri Ramakrishna's room. She did this duty with scrupulous care and affection. For in those days, Sri Ramakrishna was very particular about the purity of food. So, this lady was insisting that the food plate may be given to her so that she might carry the food to Sri Ramakrishna. Holy Mother did not want that lady to carry the food, but she couldn't stand the implorations of that lady. So she handed over the food plate to her. Sri Ramakrishna could not eat his food properly that day. Afterwards, Sri Ramakrishna told Holy Mother not to let his food be touched by such people as this particular lady, because that lady's character was not so good. So Sri Ramakrishna was pointedly commanding her not to repeat this anymore. Holy Mother heard it. But the loving heart of Mother in Sharda replied back, Master, if someone addresses me as Mother and asks for something, how can I deny it? See? This is the test of pure love. Sacrificing everything of her own, her unique motherly love, even refused to see the defects in her children. We have heard her saying, if my child gets covered with mud or dust, is it not my duty to cleanse him and take him on my lap? She was a loving mother to all her children, young and old, men or women, good or bad, and whoever they were. without any consideration of caste, creed, color, or even suitability. No rejection from her side. It is because of her spring of love. She ministered to the spiritual needs of thousands of seekers of God. She was ready to help the struggling souls who came to her for light and life spiritual. She would never discourage anybody. She would always give hopes. She would always give easy solutions. Not only while she was in her Calcutta house or Jairambati, her birthplace, or Belur Math, the headquarters of the Ramakrishna Mission, but also while on her pilgrimages, she blessed a large number of devotees. At times, even while on the journey, she initiated people on roadsides. And all that with what wonderful insight and vision of the individual needs of the aspirants. Noticing this wonderful sport of divine power in the Holy Mother, Swami Premananda ji, one of the great disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, said, "Who has understood the Holy Mother? Who can understand her? Victory to Mother. Victory to her, the power incarnate. Don't you see how many are rushing to her, to be blessed by her? We are sending to the Holy Mother the poison we couldn't ourselves take. She is giving refuge to everybody." What's the meaning of giving refuge? Without any hesitation. She was accepting the sins of all and digesting them. That is because she was the personification of love. In this incarnation, she wanted to exhibit to the fullest extent the pure form of love, spotless love. She once said, "I give initiation out of compassion. They don't leave me, they weep. This moves my heart. Otherwise, what do I gain? I have to take upon myself the sins of those whom I initiate." I say to myself, Holy Mother said, this body will die someday, but let these people be awakened. During the last part of her life, she was physically weak. Still, she used to meditate late hours in the nights and pray for those who would not do any spiritual disciplines. Simply they would take mantra and go away. That was the end of it. So seeing her physical suffering, one of her devotees requested her, why not she stop giving initiation? Mother replied, why? Sri Ramakrishna never asked me not to do so. Some devotees were terribly afraid of their sins. Holy Mother, out of her infinite love, she would tell them tenderly, don't fear, my child, don't fear. Always remember that the Master is behind you, meaning Sri Ramakrishna is behind you. I am also with you. As long as you remember me, your mother, why should you be frightened? The Master said to me, Holy Mother said, in the end I shall certainly liberate those who come to you. Whomsoever you have touched and blessed, whomsoever you have initiated, I liberate them all. These are the assuring words of Sri Ramakrishna. She had that tremendous purity of love. And her purity of love was so powerful, it would burn away, burn to ashes all the sins of the people. Pavitrata Swarupinye, Sri Sharda Devi Namaha, embodiment of purity, Mother. Once a devotee asked the Holy Mother, Mother, how can I have a perfectly pure heart and love for God? It is so difficult. Mother said, everything will come in good time. Now you have taken refuge with the Master. Everything will come to pass. Pray to Him. Never stop praying. There is another incident. Swami Vishuddhananda ji, one of the disciples of Holy Mother, who became the disciple of Holy Mother later, he and two of his brother disciples received ochre robes and blessings from Holy Mother. She was encouraging the householders to live a good life, and she was also encouraging monks to practice spiritual disciplines steadfastly. While giving ochre robes to Swami Vishuddhananda and two of his brother disciples, Holy Mother prayed to Sri Ramakrishna, O Lord, protect these children in their sannyas. On hills, mountains, forests, wherever they may be, grant them a few morsels of food. That is motherly love. She was a perfect image of tenderness, modesty, simplicity, and purity. Highest spiritual knowledge and realization were like fruits in her palm. But above all, she was a mother. This is her supreme manifestation of love. Swami Yatishwarananda ji, the disciple of Swami Brahmananda, who later became the vice president of the Ramakrishna Mission, he gave his reminiscences with Holy Mother. He had seen Holy Mother. During his younger days, he came in contact with Belur Math and the Swamis there. He had just finished his college education. He had graduated himself. He had not stepped into householder life. So, because he could come daily to Belur Math and be associated with the Swamis, he began to think of joining the mission. So he was preparing himself to join the monastic life. Place and surroundings are very important. If you are in a nightclub, you behave like people in the nightclub. If you are in a bar, you behave like drunkards. Association is very, very important. So, every weekend he would come there to Belur Math. Just as every weekend people here go to sports and go to some places to enjoy. But persons like Swami Chidananda, during weekends they would come to ashram. They would not go anywhere. And he was very fortunate to be associated with the direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. So, he had come there, he had spent the weekend nicely with the Swamis there. His heart was full with spiritual ideas. Then he was about to return to Calcutta on Monday. Then he was told to take some vegetables of the Belur Math garden to the Holy Mother who was staying at Udbodhan in Calcutta. He had to cross the Ganga. On the one side of the Ganga there is Belur Math, on the other side there is Udbodhan. So Yatishwaranandaji got an opportunity for the first time to go and have a look at the Holy Mother. He went to Udbodhan, went upstairs and entered the shrine room. What did he see there? Holy Mother was sitting there all alone, as if to shower her grace upon him, as if to bless him. And not only that, she was there without her veil. Generally she would cover her face with veil. That day, at that point of time, she didn't have the veil. She had just finished her daily worship, and Yatishwaranandaji could see her face radiating an inexpressible sublimity, compassion and bliss. He was amazed. It was indeed a divine face, entirely different from what one sees ordinarily in mortals. Swami Yatishwarananda was introduced to Holy Mother by one of the monks in the Udbodhan. They told Holy Mother that Yatishwarananda was an aspirant for the monastic order. When she heard this, she was greatly pleased. She blessed him, putting her hand on his head. This divine touch had tremendous effect upon him. Just one touch. Yatishwaranandaji felt immensely the power of her unfailing love and blessings. He was for a moment in ecstasy. Such was a profound impression on his mind that whenever he thought of the Holy Mother, he felt that the blessed hand of hers was still on his head, and he wished and prayed that she might ever keep him and others under her motherly loving protection and guidance. Yatishwaranandaji, he was the president of the Bangalore ashram where I joined the mission on account of Maharaj's grace. Every day, Yatishwaranandaji would go to Holy Mother's rock, where Mother had come and meditated on that hillock. Even now people who go to Bangalore can see that. Every day, morning, Yatishwaranandaji would go to the hillock, that small hillock, it is in our own place, and offer her his worship to her. And then I was doing worship of Sri Ramakrishna. That was my assignment when I joined the mission there. Yatishwaranandaji called me and said, "Look, every day I am coming and doing worship to the Holy Mother on this hillock. You as a pujari, come every day and offer worship. Sometimes I may be going out on tours, I may not be there in Bangalore all the time, but we should not miss worshipping Holy Mother. That's why I am telling you to do it, so that whoever becomes the pujari in Bangalore ashram should offer worship to Holy Mother every day on the hillock." That is being done even now. So Holy Mother was a mighty spiritual teacher who could transform the most morally degraded and evil-minded by her love and blessings. Mother said, referring to some of the people who came to her, she said, "Several among those who come here are up to anything in life. No type of sin has been left undone by them. But when they come here and address me as Mother, I forget everything. And they get more than they deserve." Where do you get such incarnation? Where do you get such divine spiritual guidance? She was easily approachable, accessible to anybody on this earth. Once a lady, she repented of her evil life She came to Holy Mother. Holy Mother said, "Don't despair." She comforted her through her loving words. And Holy Mother said to her that she would destroy all her sinful tendencies. Mother gave that lady initiation and inspired her to live a spiritual life. Don't bother about what you have done up to this time. Start fresh. That is Mother's teaching to her. Here we get a glimpse of the mighty heart of the Mother, the divine grace which makes the impure pure, the ignorant enlightened, and the bound free. Holy Mother was fully aware of her cosmic divine nature and power. She said, "I am as much the mother of the good as of the bad." With her deep spiritual introspection, she saw the essential spiritual core of all and refused to see their superficial defects. One day, Golapma, a woman devotee, was scolding a maid servant. Holy Mother saw and asked her the reason for it. Golapma replied, "Mother, what's the good of telling you you can't see the defects of others?" To this the mother replied, "Well, Golap, there is no want of people to see the faults of others. The world will not come to a standstill if I am otherwise." It is in this uplifting strain that the mother spoke only a few days before her passing away to a devotee. She said, "If you want peace of mind, do not find fault with others. Rather see your own faults. Learn to make the whole world your own. No one is a stranger. My child, this whole world is your own." This was her significant instruction to us all ignorant mortals. Let us remember that, not by entertaining a spirit of fault finding, but by cultivating a divine love for our fellow beings, that we can hope to find peace for ourselves and for the world. No matter who the sufferer was, Holy Mother's heart would go out spontaneously to the victim of suffering. From the beginning of her life unto the last day of her life on this earth, everything was full of love and love only. One day, she was at the Udbodhan in Calcutta. She heard the wailing of a lady. Holy Mother went out to the porch to see what was happening. The husband of that woman was beating her. The mother could not contain herself, and she cried to that man. She said, "Why are you behaving in such a brutal fashion? Don't kill her." Immediately, that man stopped beating his wife. The mother's love knew no bounds at all. Her love flowed not only towards human beings, but also towards animals. That is the test of realized persons. One could see their actions, their life. Every bit of it is so uplifting. In her village home, one morning, a cow was separated from her calf, and the calf was bleating in order to gain the freedom to go to its mother. Holy Mother saw it. She could not bear to see this agony. She untied the calf so that it would go to its mother and get what it needed. On another occasion, when someone was fondling a cat with one foot placed on the head of the cat, Holy Mother said, "Look, the head is the seat of the Guru. One should not touch the head with the foot. Salute the cat." Not only towards animals, but even towards inanimate objects, the mother was gentle. Once, the cook, after having swept the floor, threw away the broomstick in a corner. Mother saw it, and immediately she said to the cook, "Why do you behave so rudely towards the broomstick? Can't you put it gently there? Why should you have to throw it?" Thus, limitless was the mother's love. Her motherliness was all comprehensive. In fact, she was to teach, according to Sri Ramakrishna's plan, the motherhood of God to humanity. According to Hinduism, God is not only Father, but also Mother. In the Shvetashvatara Upanishad, there is a statement, "Tvam stri tvam pumanasi, tvam kumara utava kumari, tvam jirno dandena vanchasi, tvam jato bhavasi sarvato mukaha." Famous statement. Thou art woman, thou art man, thou art the youth, and also the maiden. Thou as an old man totterest with a stick. Being born, thou becomest facing all directions. In Hinduism, God can be addressed as mother as well as father. In the Gita, Lord Krishna declares, "Pitahamasya jagato mata dhata pitamaha." I am the father of this world, the mother, the protector, the creator. There is a familiar prayer also, which we pray every day. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva, tvameva bandhuscha sakha tvameva, tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva, tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. O God, thou art my mother, thou alone my father, thou alone art my relative, thou alone my friend, thou alone art my learning, thou alone my wealth, thou alone art my everything, O God of gods. That is how we look upon God. God has no sex, even as saintliness knows no sex. If it is right to appeal to God as our Heavenly Father, it is just and proper that we should regard Him as our universal Mother. It is only a convention that speaks of God in the masculine gender. It is only in the relative world that there are distinctions of sex. In the transcendent, there can be no distinction at all. It is true that man, so long as he remains only a man, cannot outgrow the attitude of looking at God after the fashion of a human being. Yet, he has to transcend the limitations of finitude as far as he can. And one of the ways of transcending those limitations is to regard God exclusively as male but also as female. Not only as father but also as mother. The Holy Mother represents the motherhood of God, and the essence of motherhood is love. Love that is pure. Love that is serene. Cosmic mind. Her heart was a universal heart. She came to teach that if the world continues to exist in spite of strife, in spite of violence and war, it is because of the spirit of motherliness which is yet alive. But for this spirit of motherliness, humanity would have disappeared altogether from the face of the earth. Sri Ramakrishna, if you study his life, you find he was full of motherly qualities. We can see in his life how he protected the young boys who gathered around him during his last years. We find how he protected them with infinite care, even as the mother eagle would her fledglings. It was to teach mankind that the universe cannot remain even for a moment but for its foundation in motherliness, that the Holy Mother took form and shape and lived in the world. And it was upon the bedrock of her motherliness that Ramakrishna Mission was built. Out of her infinite love towards humanity, she has given most precious teachings through which one can get spiritual unfoldment and illumination. One can get immense peace and bliss. Through her teachings, she is again spreading out her message of love. How she was concerned about our welfare. So, to conclude my talk, it is good to remember some of our most valuable teachings which have come out of her spontaneous love towards humanity. These teachings are general, can be practiced by anybody on this earth. Those who want to live a life of spirituality can take these teachings of the Mother and practice them and make the life blessed. So Mother would say, see the good qualities of everybody. Never peep into their defects. Never. Practice it. If you are aware that you should not pick out the faults in others, that awareness will minimize your habit of finding fault in others. One who practices this teaching of not finding faults in others will obtain peace that is rare in the world. If you are really aspiring for peace, just practice this one idea, not to find fault in anybody, in anything, in the whole creation, no fault finding. Set your mind on that ideal. Then Mother said, all of you are to do some duties in life. You have got responsibilities, so many things to do. But then Mother says, do them earnestly, even if they are insignificant. Duties performed with devotion will produce good results. And then she said, happiness and sorrow we come across in this world. No man's life is free from these things. They do come, but they are not permanent. They come and go like water under a bridge. Then she said, show due respect towards not only human beings. It is but natural to show your love towards your fellow beings. Of course, it's not common. Even we hesitate to show our real love towards our own people. But then, it's a natural quality. But show love towards animals. Show love towards inanimate objects. That's important. Everything in this universe deserves courteous treatment. Then another important teaching Mother said, never stop doing japa, that is repetition of God's name. Never stop japa and meditation, even when you are too busy in so many activities. So that is the fundamental teaching of Holy Mother. Uttering God's name every day. Without fail. Then she said, just as the wind drives away the clouds in the sky, even so, uttering of God's name destroys the cloud of worldliness from the mind. That's the only way. No doubt, mind is highly uncontrollable, like a wild elephant. It is its nature. Mind is like that. Don't be frightened by that. But it can be studied. How? By means of the power of japa. Repeating Lord's name. Not just repeating 108 times and run away from the place as soon as possible. Not that way. Holy Mother says, if you want to have real benefit of spiritual life, if you want to enjoy the calmness of mind, you must repeat divine name at least 15,000 times a day. You must know that mother was also very busy, more busy than all of you here. Still, she would do several thousands of repetition of God's name every day. All her devotional practice would be over by 7 o'clock, 3 to 7. She would sit for japa, 4 hours every day morning. And 7 o'clock onwards up to 11 o'clock in the night, whole day she was busy. But then mother is telling, through her own experience, to teach you that it is not impractical. Only you are not will. You don't have the will to do it. That's the reason. Without strong will, how it is possible to calm down the mind? Forget about it. Die with the mind. That's all. Die with the mind if you cannot practice it. Then the mother said, the sins produced by evil deeds, how can you destroy them? They can be destroyed gradually by doing good deeds. Every day, consciously, you must do good deeds. And then she said, sins can be got rid of by japa, by meditation. Again mother says, don't allow the mind to be lazy. It gets vitiated by useless thoughts. Always engage yourself in the service of the Lord, doing His work. And then mother said, modesty, courage and purity of mind, these are the 3 ornaments of woman. Purity of mind comes by deeds dedicated to the Lord. Then the mother finally, she gives hope to everyone. She says emphatically, I am as much the mother of the sinful as I am the mother of the virtuous. My child, when you are faced with difficulties, when you are facing risks and dangers in life, remember that you have a mother in me. That is her final blessings for all of us. With these words, I conclude my talk with a prayer to Holy Mother. Prasida matar vinayena yache nityam bhavasnehavati suteshu premaika bindum chiradagdha chitte vishincha chittam kurunas sushantam. Be loving and gracious to thy children, O Mother. We humbly beseech, sprinkle in our hearts arid a drop of love to enjoy peace. Thank you. Anavavato sahanau bhunakto sahaviryam karavavahai tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. May the Divine Supreme protect us. May He nourish us. May we work in harmony with great vigor. May our study be illuminating and fruitful. May we not hate each other. Peace, peace, peace be unto all.